so sorry. Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Quick one. This video, obviously, this situation with KB and Edmund, obviously, has got a lot of people talking, especially on TikTok, about the situation between herself and Edmund, and obviously Clay, right? Because Clay's been getting some hits, as he always does every single season around that. And during obviously the original season when it aired with Clay and AD, I called them both out for the way that they behaved, because I said, to be honest, you know, with Clay obviously choosing AD, I didn't think he actually wanted it. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's my personal thoughts, right? But in the scenario, I said that KB behaved the same way that Clay did, but the smoke seems to be different. The smoke seems to be different. Now, I've actually seen a lot of people, though, actually give smoke to KB for dragging Edmund to the altar. And I think the conversation has shifted some bouts, right? She has every right to say no, the same way Clay has every right to say no. It's the fact that we're talking about the double standard of the way that people get onto people, when if it's KB denying Edmund, it's like, whoa, like, okay, she has every right to do so, which she does, but she drags him to the altar to do so. And then we say, oh, everybody has to do it because everyone's got to go to the altar. But then does Clay need to drag AD to the altar then because of the push? And we've got to be able to hold both sides and say, okay, if we're going to be insulting and getting onto Clay, then you gotta get onto KB, okay? Because if she has a choice, if she doesn't have a choice and she has to go to the altar, then the same thing would be for Clay when he was in that situation. He would need to go to the altar regardless of whether he wanted to or not, right? And so that's why we're saying about having equal measures when it comes to the way that people are coming at people. Otherwise, it seems like it's a double standard, right? Now, I personally think there's a few more bits and bobs with the KB and the Edmund situation. There's a lot more that's going on as well, right? Let's be honest. None of us ever thought that that KB was really feeling Edmund. Let's be honest. Let's not lie, which is why we had a conversation on our channel on the Super Panel. She never wanted that man. Let's stop pretending. I think a lot of us are trying to pretend as if she ever wanted him. She never wanted him. It's okay to be honest that your girl didn't want him. Okay, all right. This was never going to work. And even then, by the end, she knew she wasn't going to marry that man. She knew. By the end, she knew she wasn't going to marry him. So there was no need to go to the altar if she has a choice. But if she doesn't have a choice, then her and Clay are the same people. Now, I was watching some things on Clay because I was on his TikTok. Shout out to Clay. He's followed me back on TikTok as well. And there was a couple of videos that are going around. So he replied to a video that was done by Dwight as well. And so I want to play a little bit of that so you can actually see what I'm going for the thing there. Because there's a big discourse and conversation. Have a listen to this as well. Let's see if we can get some.
Like at all. On your season of a reality show, you probably shouldn't be giving advice to people on a reality show.
And shout out to Dwight, man. He pushing out them videos 5 times a day. You keeping me entertained, Dwight. I'll follow you. But it got to be a slow week for my man Dwight, because I'm like, why he posting me? What did I do? Dwight, when I saw this recent video of you, I'm so happy you got a full set of hair, bro. Because in your pen videos, I thought you was going bald, bro. You got to take them pen videos down, bro. That's just man to man, bro. I got your back. Dwight, you said something very interesting on your video. You said that I wasn't successful on Love is Blind. And I want to ask you, Dwight, what does success look like to you? Because I don't believe you watched Love is Blind, Dwight. I believe you probably watched it when my season came on, and you have no idea the concept. Is love blind? You make a decision at the altar, the same way KB's about to go to the altar and tell Edmund no, and you guys are not going to have any problem with that at all. You must think everybody's unsuccessful. Because if y'all watch Love is Blind, can't y'all clock that only about 1 couple get married out of 5 every single season? Season 1, we had like 2 people get married. Season 2, they all got divorced. Nobody's together. Season 3, I think they all divorced. I don't think anybody, oh no, 1 person together. Season 4, maybe 2 people together. Season 5, no one anymore. Season 6, Johnny and Amy. Season 7, 1 couple. Season 8, 1 couple. Season 9 is probably gonna be 1 couple. So KB, get ready, because Dwight's gonna call you unsuccessful. Actually, no, he's not, because you're with a black man. And when you say no to black men, you could do that. But God forbid a black man say no to a black woman, now you're toxic. Now you're a red flag. This is the point that I'll be making. When I said that Virginia did the same thing that I did Devin know that Virginia was gonna say no? Because what is y'all beef with me about going to the altar? Y'all said AD didn't know. But Devin didn't know in season 8, but y'all don't care about that. Edmund's not going to know that KB's going to say no tomorrow, but y'all ain't going to care about that. But Clay says no, and he is this wrong, toxic person. I did the same thing that everybody else did.
Now, mind you, this is coming from a black man who was engaged to a black woman that was willing to do anything to make it work with him.
Dwight, I'm confused. What was so funny about that comment? You said that she was willing to do everything for me. Did you talk to AD yourself? Now, Dwight, you my guy. It's my last set of advice for you. Put those videos on Facebook. Facebook paying way more than TikTok and Instagram right now.
Now, of course, aside some of the sarcasm and some of the you know, the hits, he makes some good points, right? Like, because there is a double standard in that aspect, right? But I've actually seen a lot more on my algorithm of people saying that KB was wrong for dragging Edmund to the altar on this occasion. So I'm starting to see some restoration. I think it's different on Twitter and stuff. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, obviously, hey, at the end of the day, she had every right to say no, and she did. That's the whole point. Like, she has every right to take him to the altar, but then we have to give everybody the same amount of grace when they go to the altar. We can't say that because Clay dragged AD to the altar, he hates her, he wants her to be punished, he wants her to suffer. Then we have to say the same about KB. Does KB want to drag Edmund to the altar? Does she want to punish him? Does she want to hurt him? Does she want to see him down and out? Like, we have to be very consistent with that. And I don't think sometimes we are in that particular aspect when it comes to those things. Now, there's a couple of more videos by Clay I think are quite funny, so I thought we'd watch them.
You know, and the reason I feel bad for KB and Ali is because when I said no at the altar, the fan base told me. They told me, Clay, why'd you get her to get dressed up just for you to say no? From my understanding, that was the #1 reason why the fan base was upset with me. They said, you bitch ass nigga. Why did you make that beautiful girl get dressed up just to tell her no? And Ali and KB, I tried to tell them that Chris Cohen and the producers told me I had to make the decision at the altar, but the fan base don't care. And I just feel so bad for KB and Ali because I know the fan base, y'all gonna be so upset. Y'all gonna be upset that they sent those fine brothers, Anton and Edmund, to the altar just for them to say no. And I know that KB and Ali are going to be hearing this for 2 years because that's what I'm dealing with. I still get women that DM me and say, nigga, why'd you go all the way to the altar? So KB and Ali, if you guys need any consulting, I got you.
Again, a very good breakdown, right? Also, Ali dragging Anton to that altar when she knew she wasn't marrying that man. She knew she wasn't marrying that man. Okay, so again, we're back here again with the fact that, you know, as he said, I agree with him. You become the ultimate villain. And a lot of times on the show, that's why I love to see Love is Blind this season, because we're seeing a bit more equality when it comes to the dating field. We saw this on Love is Blind France. We're starting to see that the ladies are just as problematic as the man them. I feel like intentionally what's happened is that we've chosen men to be the perpetrators of evil all the time. And when we don't realize that a lot of people in the dating field are tapped. Both the men and the women are tapped, bro. Yeah, so we're starting to see a bit more of an equality coming through when it comes to who's tapped in these situations. We can now go, oh, we've got to hold both sides accountable, because actually we're starting to see that they're not that straightforward, or they're not that simple, they're not that clean cut. No, they've got problems too. Yeah, so I definitely hear what he was saying on that respect. Like I had nothing against that as well. So I definitely hear that. Now, KB obviously. Clay said one more video. I just want to just drop this video here.
And Edmund. It's definitely causing some controversy because some people believe that Calabria should have ended the engagement well before they got to the altar. I say from Calabria perspective, I understand why she went to the altar. It's highly encouraged to go to the altar. You don't have to go to the altar, but it's highly encouraged. Now, do I believe they should have went to the altar? Probably not, but I also understand the pressure you have during that time, and I'm not about to hate on Calabria or tell her she did the wrong thing, because I know that when she was going through the process, the producers were probably reinforcing her that Edmund was the guy that she fell in love with, so she went to that altar. The same thing that happened to me. But I don't know why y'all give Calabria some grace, but then y'all don't see it my perspective. It's so crazy. you know, when you look at this content creator, and she's actually said bad things about me. She's actually, you know, I would say read me in a sense. And I didn't like it at first, but you know, I started seeing she's a big content creator. I started seeing her content throughout the full year. You know, I never saw her content before Love Is Blind, but then I started seeing it as, you know, I got into the algorithm, and she's pretty consistent. She calls it how it is. So she makes a video and says, yo, what Calabria did is the same thing that Clay did, but y'all still mad at Clay, but y'all giving Calabria a break, and that's a valid point. And then the comment section was like, just defending Calabria and saying, oh no, what Clay did was different. I'm like, what difference is it? You know what I'm saying? They try to say in the comment section that Clay never liked AD. And I'm just like, who told y'all this? Who is telling y'all these stuff?
I'm gonna say this straight. I didn't think he liked her, and I still don't think he liked her. I also don't think KB liked Edmund. So I'm gonna be real with you, man. I like Clay. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna hold my perspective. There's a like us as men, we like and dislike. I've already said this. I said he liked her because she had body, but didn't like her enough because she didn't have face. That's what I feel like. Personally, that's my personal perspective. You know what I'm saying? You know, I could be wrong. Okay, I could be absolutely wrong. But I'm just saying, you know, a lot of times when we get sexual like that, and we get sexual quickly, it's usually because the body's bodying, but the face isn't facing for us. You know what I mean? But I get his point, and I'm going to take on his point on board, and I hear it.
Because I'm telling you, I did. I actually fell in love with her. Like, I know y'all, I'll be sarcastic, I'll be playing around, but I know y'all think I'm the worst human being, but I'm not that bad where I'm going to go to the altar with somebody who I did not have feelings for. Like, that's crazy to me. But that's who y'all think I am. And listen, it's all good. I've come to realization that there's nothing I could do to make you guys like me. I represent rejection. And that is the key, guys. Rejection is these women's biggest op. And because I went on that TV screen, I rejected a beautiful woman, I'm an enemy. I'm an enemy. And fellas, I'm sure y'all could identify with this, and then even some girls, I'm sure you could identify with this. When you reject people, that brings on insecurities. It brings on a lot of resentment. And as I'm like trying to go through this, I'm like, man, it's 2 years since Love Is Blind, and people still DM me. People still give me hate. People still make videos about me telling me to shut up. Like, I don't got my own voice. Be trying to belittle me. And it's like, it's so crazy. And I'm like, when I be looking at these people, I'm like, I get in my ego because I'm like, they haven't even done what I've done in my life. And they talking to me like like I'm some chump ass change. I'm like, that's crazy. You will be hearing them, they be making videos like what they want in a man. And I'll be like, damn, I embody all that. But because I rejected a woman, I'm an enemy. You know what I'm saying? I just find it interesting. I also saw this other content creator. He made a video and saying that Calabria should have never took Edmund to the altar based off her social work background. Look at the comments that they saying. They are disrespecting this dude. They saying you should be with Edmund. They saying that it's not Calabria's fault. It was her experience as well.
And this is honestly true. I've seen that on TikTok. That's why I said, like, that's why I want to do this video. It's a double standard, right? It's like there are things that Edmund has done, but do you know what's also interesting is that as soon as she said there was things that were done off camera, we've immediately believed her. So if a man was out here saying there's things that are done off camera, do we immediately believe that, oh, she did things off camera? Do you get what I'm saying to you? That's very cryptic. Oh, you did things off camera. You were mean to me off camera. Okay. Well, we don't see it on camera. So what do you want to do? What do you want us to do about it? Right? As to why she called him the B word, as to why she's dragged him to the altar. Like, there's always a bunch of excuses. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily across the board. It's just on this particular case, again, it's Love Is Blind. It's one of those things. But like I said, I've seen a lot of people actually, say it's wrong that she took him to the altar. So let's not make this that she's a villain. I don't think she's a villain personally. I think the same thing that Clay's saying. I actually don't think KB's a villain. Right. I think this is one of those cases where she had to go to the altar. I'm not mad at it, but the truth of the matter is she never liked that man. I don't think that's where I'm like, yeah, that's where it can be. If we're talking about manipulation, that's also manipulative. If you know you didn't like the person, you're dragging them on and they don't know, that's manipulation. That's all we have to call it. It's manipulation. Do She's a dark arts. If you want to call it dark, it's dark arts, but it's like everyone does this thing. And so if we're gonna call out one side, we got to call out everybody. You know what I mean? So there's villainy here as well. If you want to call it that, yeah, I can say, okay, maybe I can take back what I said. She can be a villain, but in the sense of the fact that it's the manipulation, not necessarily she's a villain for saying no at the altar. At the altar, she has every right. She shouldn't know. You know what I mean? But just make sure as an audience, we're calling out things across the board equally.
I'm like, damn. What about my experience? Nobody care about my experience. I'm not the victim. I'm not the victim. But like I said, I just find some of this stuff interesting. And I'm telling you, there's gonna be people who don't like me. They're like, oh, Clay, give it up. Give it up. We're tired of you talking. But I'm gonna keep talking because these are my experiences and it affected me. It affected me, and but it's cool. It ain't like I'm like sad.
It's true. You know, there was, you know, some people are going to be telling him to shut up and stuff like that. But it's like the whole situation when she got with AD got with my boy. What's his name? Why is his name got on my head? The guy she's going to get married to now. Sorry, I've forgotten his name. I don't know why it's got on my head. But it's interesting because everyone was like, oh, you know, Clay's crashing out. And I was like, people don't crash out about their exes, bro. If that man said no at the altar, why would he crash out about her getting married now? Like nobody's crashing out. I'm sorry, nobody's crashing out. Like most people are not going to crash out over their ex because they don't care enough to crash out about their ex. You know what I'm saying? True. Like we don't feel like he made a mistake. It's not like Clay can't get a woman. You know what I'm saying? True. Like he was never going to crash out, but everyone made it into a Clay's crashing out. It's like, nah, you said well done and moved on. You know, so again, people want to put a narrative sometimes on these situations. But yeah, I do understand. Sometimes as men, we don't get that grace when you're on these TV shows. But now we're starting to see that the ladies are just as tapped. We're having to see things differently. But anyway, listen, my time is up. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. So appreciate you guys. So we'll see you again soon.